Hello children, I hope you are all doing well. So let us start with the third unit, that is biology and human welfare. Now children, we have completed unit 1, that is reproduction. 3 chapters of reproduction have been done. 1 chapter, that is human reproduction, is yet to be done. I was thinking that we shall do it once the school reopen. The second unit, that is genetics and evolution. Now this is the unit that I want to complete again once the school reopens, because there are so many new concepts involved in that which I want to have in the face to face class. Now the third unit, that is biology and human welfare, we shall start with that third unit. Now this is a unit from which you can expect 14 marks in the board examination. So you can see how important this unit is. And this unit has got 3 chapters. Chapter 8, human health and diseases, which we shall be starting. Chapter 9, strategies for enhancement in food production, that we will do after we complete this chapter. And chapter 10, that is microbes in human welfare. Again, that would be done after chapter number 9 is over. So let us first talk about the human health and diseases. Now first, let us see, what do you mean by health? So what is health? As you can see, you can see the display, you can see the definition in the slide. Health is the complete state of physical, mental and social well-being, okay, and not merely the absence of a disease or physical fitness. So what actually health is? Health is the complete, when a person is completely physically healthy, mentally healthy and he is socially healthy, he is not depressed, he is not facing any mental issues, and he is physically fit, at that time we call that person to be healthy. Generally what happens? We say we are healthy, right? And what do we actually mean by that? That we are physically fit and there is no visible disease in it. And many a times we see a person is physically fit but he is mentally unfit. At that time, can you call that person healthy? No. A person has to be physically fit, mentally fit, plus there should not be any disease in him, and he should be able to adapt well with his surroundings. Then only we can call that person to be healthy. So this definition of health is given by WHO, that is World Health Organization. Understood children? Now let's talk about the factors which can help you in achieving the good health. The first and foremost important thing in achieving the good health is you should have a very nice diet. You should have a balanced meal, a very nutritious diet, which is very, very important, you know it. Then second is the daily course. Most of these activities have to be done with the hygiene, right? Now you should take bath regularly, you should wash your hands frequently, you should even after going to toilet, you should be washing your hands, you should be washing your hands before cooking the food, all the things. Right now when you have corona, we all have become so conscious about everything. We use sanitizers, we wash our hands frequently, so this should be done even after we get rid of coronavirus. These practices should be there in our lifestyle. So beta, once the coronavirus, I know it will go, we'll be all out in few days, and we should be continuing with these practices. The third is exercise. Physical exercise is must, children. You should never ignore your physical exercises. Yoga is very important. Now vaccination is one thing which has been which has actually helped a lot. I have not mentioned vaccination here, you can add this point. Vaccination and immunization has helped a lot in achieving good health, okay. It has helped in getting rid of many diseases, like polio is no more there, smallpox is no more there. Why? Because of the vaccination and immunization programs which were done by our government, okay. Now let us talk about the type of diseases. Now diseases can be classified into 2 types. The first type is congenital disease, the second is acquired disease. Now from the name itself you can see, congenital means you are born with that disease. So the diseases which are present by birth are called as congenital diseases. Many of the genetic diseases like Down syndrome, hemophilia, these are genetic diseases and they are present at the time of birth. We shall be learning about these in detail when we will talk when we will talk about the genetics, that is chapter number 5th. Okay, let us focus more on the acquired diseases now. So, acquired diseases are the diseases which are developed after the baby is born. Now, acquired diseases can again be classified into two types: communicable or infectious types, non-communicable or non-infectious types. Now, I am sure you know what these terms mean because you have learned this many a times in your lower classes. So, communicable or infectious diseases are the diseases which are transferred from one person to another person. So, they will be transmitted from one person to another person either through direct contact or through a vector, right? What do you mean by direct contact? Direct contact is simply when you shake your hands, like when you are coughing, you cough, and if the other person comes in contact with the air droplets that you released in the air, the person can also catch cough. So, this is direct. But next is when you require a vector. Now, for example, when the malaria is here, so a malaria is caused through the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. Now, if I am having malaria, so anybody sits, having food will be with me will not catch malaria. But if that person is bitten by the female Anopheles mosquito that has bitten me earlier, will definitely be catching malaria. Okay. Now, let us talk about the type of communicable or infectious diseases. The first one is bacterial diseases. So, when the cause is bacterial, when the infectious diseases are caused due to bacteria, then we call them bacterial diseases. We will be talking about typhoid and pneumonia in bacterial diseases. Then viral disease. Example, common cold, chikungunya, dengue, AIDS, all these are carried from one person to another through the virus. Now, you can also add COVID-19 because again this is a viral disease, right? Then next is protozoan. So, protozoan diseases are malaria and amoebiasis and they are caused by protozoa. Then helminthes. Helminthes, the examples are ascariasis and filariasis. Then the next is fungal diseases. The example is ringworm. Now, children, I am not getting into details here as we will have the slides dedicated only to these diseases. So, all these diseases which we have mentioned here, we will be studying them. Okay. Now, let us talk about the non-communicable or non-infectious disease. The first non-communicable or non-infectious disease are deficiency diseases. Now, you have so many deficiency diseases like beriberi is there, rickets is there. So, all these are deficiencies diseases. Beriberi is caused due to deficiency of vitamin B. So many diseases are there which are caused due to deficiency of one or the other nutrient in your body. So those diseases are called as deficiency diseases. The second is degenerative diseases. Now, degenerative diseases, the name itself is telling you that when the organ of your body is degenerated, when the organ of your body is corroded, or you can say when it is when some of the cells die, when the organ is not working properly due to the degeneration in that organ. So, at that time such diseases are called as degenerative diseases. The heart diseases are there, atherosclerosis is there, is there, where the joints, arthritis is there, where the joints are degenerated, right. So, degenerative diseases are the diseases where the degeneration of that organ or the part of the body has started. So, such diseases are called as degenerative disease. Then you have allergies, like asthma is the disease which is due to the allergies, and then the last is cancer, very very common nowadays. So, this is also an example of a non-communicable disease. Now, these diseases are non-communicable because they will never be travelling from one person to another person. They will be travelling through through various other factors like which deficiency or due to degeneration of an organ or due to allergies or due to cancer. That is the tumors develop in certain areas. Uncontrolled cell division happens which leads to the cancer. Understood, children? Now let us talk few more things about infectious diseases. So infectious diseases are the diseases which are carried from one person to another via pathogens. Now infectious diseases are very common. I'm sure everybody amongst us would have fallen ill, would have got these infectious diseases at one point of our life. So let us talk about what pathogens are. So pathogens are the living agents that can cause a disease, and most of the pathogens are parasites. Now what are pathogens? Pathogens are the you can say these are the organisms that do not require which can which can stay outside the host also, while parasites are the organisms which require the presence of a host. Let us see the difference in the next slide. So what are pathogens? Pathogens are the agents that are capable of causing a disease, okay, while parasites are the organisms which live in or on the host. That means they depend on host for the nourishment. So parasites can never stay without host, while pathogens can stay without host also. They can live independently. Like we have so many bacteria, so many yeast, so many virus. They can survive in host also, but they can survive freely in environment also, right? So they can live independently, but when they get inside our body, host, they cause diseases, right? While parasites cannot live independently. That means they always require what? They require a host. So examples are protozoa and helminths in case of parasites, okay? So children, you must know the difference between a pathogen and parasites. So pathogens are what? They are the disease causing agents and they can live independently, right? But they can also enter the body of the host and cause the disease. While parasites are the ones which will always depend on the body of host. They can never stay outside your body. The helminths, the roundworms, tapeworms, they will always be there in your body. They can never stay out of your body. The cystid forms can stay, but these organisms as a whole will not stay. Now let us talk about the pathogens. So pathogens are the agents that can cause disease, and most of the pathogens are parasites. That means most of the pathogens have the tendency to stay inside the body, of the host and cause the disease. Now parasites are the one which are dependent on the host for nourishment. They are of two types. I hope you have learned them in lower classes also. Ectoparasite and endoparasite, right? So let us see what do you mean by ectoparasite. Ecto, outside. So the parasites which are found outside the body of the host, like leeches and mites, they are called as ectoparasites. Endoparasites. Endoparasites are the ones which stay inside the body of host, like tapeworms, roundworms, some protozoans. They are all endoparasites. So we'll be talking about the endoparasites today, or in fact in most of the diseases we'll be talking about the endoparasites. Now children, we shall be studying about few diseases after a while.